Daily Edition.
In the modern NBA landscape, where explosiveness and athleticism dominate headlines and highlight reels, the success stories of players like Steve Nash feel increasingly rare, almost mythical. Yet, with the emergence of Tyler Kolek, a feisty floor-leading point guard who was drafted by the New York Knicks, that rare energy has crept back into basketball conversations. Kolek, like Nash before him, isn't a poster child for NBA stardom. He wasn't an elite high school recruit. He wasn't on mock draft lottery boards. He's not built like Russell Westbrook, or he doesn't fly like Ja Morant. But what Kolek lacks in height and flash, he compensates with vision, with toughness, intelligence, and relentless control, qualities that eerily echo a young Steve Nash. So what I want to talk about in this video is how the budding story of Tyler Kolek parallels the rise of Steve Nash, how both entered the league with glaring weaknesses, how Nash overcame his to become a two-time MVP, and why Knicks fans should believe that Kolek could be more than just a steady backup. He may not be the prototype, but neither was Nash. And that's precisely the point. Because right now there's early doubt. But when no one believed in Steve Nash believed in Steve Nash. To understand why Kolek's path matters, we need to revisit Steve Nash's unlikely origin story. Coming out of Santa Clara University, Nash was barely known outside of NBA scouting circles. He was a 6'3" Canadian point guard, playing in the West Coast Conference, where televised games were rare and competition was far from elite. He didn't have elite athleticism, and his slight frame and below-the-rim style of play made him an afterthought in the eyes of many teams. They didn't think he was league ready. But at the 1996 NBA draft, probably the best draft ever, Nash fell to the 15th overall pick, behind the likes of Eric Dampier and Samaki Walker. The weaknesses that were pinned to Nash weren't so subtle. First, they said he was too slow for the NBA. Next, they said he can't defend at the next level. Next thing they said is he's more like a system player. Then they said he played against weak competition. But Nash was undeterred. And if you think back to his summer league, you ask yourself, did he blow people away also? Nah, unlike today's summer league, media frenzy wasn't all that. Nash's rookie summer league in 1996 didn't garner viral videos. It wasn't broadcasted on ESPN. The coverage was sparse. But those who watched knew one thing: he could shoot and he could pass with elite level touch. His command in the pick and roll was evident. It was advanced, and he didn't panic under pressure. But he wasn't flashy. He was calm, he was sharp, and he was consistent. Still though, Summer League didn't silence the critics. In fact, Nash's first 2 years in the NBA were underwhelming. He averaged 3.3 points a game, 5.5 points a game in both of those seasons, playing behind Jason Kidd and Kevin Johnson in Phoenix. The notion that he could become MVP was absurd, but Nash kept working at it. And by the time he returned to Phoenix in 2004, he was a transformed leader. He won back-to-back MVPs in 05 and 06, revolutionized the modern offense, and became one of the greatest point guards of all time, without ever dunking or out-muscling anybody. He didn't fit the prototype, so he ended up redefining it. And that's where I bring Tyler Kolek to the front of the congregation, because right now y'all sleeping on him. Let's fast forward to 2024. Tyler Kolek, gritty lefty floor general from Marquette. He hears his name called in the second round of the NBA draft. A reward for one of the most impressive college careers in recent memory. He's a Big East Player of the Year. He led the NCAA in assists per game. He could play ball. He could command a team at the highest level of competition. Yet, these same critiques are pinned to him. He's not athletic enough. He can't defend NBA guards. He won't finish at the rim. Yo, shit, he's too small. Does that sound familiar though? These are carbon copy criticisms from Nash's scouting report. But Kolek, like Nash, doesn't flinch. In his first summer league game with the Knicks, 7 points, 6 assists. That was that first year he came out. But 0 turnovers. Running the offense with poise. He looked calm, surgical, and completely in control. But not about flash for Kolek. It's about understanding space, anticipating defenders, manipulating pick and roll coverages, making the right play every single time. Yes, he struggled in the second summer league, but he's bringing it back. He's stabilizing it right now. And what Nash and Kolek have in common isn't just their shared skepticism or underdog roots. It's something rarer. They have true point guard intelligence. Both possess that uncanny ability to read defenses 3 passes ahead. Deliver the ball on time and on target, even under pressure. Play with tempo. Elevate teammates. Nash didn't need to jump over defenders. He made them look foolish with ball fakes and perfectly timed pocket passes. Kolek can do the same thing. Watch him run the pick and roll on film when he was playing with the starters. You'll see hesitation moves, feints, and perfectly timed bounce passes. He doesn't react to the defenders. He manipulates them when he's playing with good players. In the age of high-level offenses where Luka Doncic and Trae Young dribble for 15 seconds, Kolek, like Nash, believes in movement, rhythm, and trusting the system. So embracing the prototype was never an option. Let's be honest. Steve Nash never fit the mold. He wasn't dunking over defenders. He wasn't blowing by people. He had a strange upright handle, and his shot release wasn't lightning fast. Yet, he turned into a 2-time MVP, the centerpiece of the 7 seconds or less offense that changed basketball forever. He proved that IQ, pace, vision can be just as deadly than athleticism. So Tyler Kolek doesn't fit today's mold either. He's not a 6'5" combo guard. He's not built like a tank. But neither was Fred VanVleet. Neither was Jalen Brunson. And Kolek plays with the same stubborn confidence and the chip on their shoulder style. Knicks fans, you gotta recognize those parallels. Brunson was also doubted, overlooked, but now all NBA player, arguably the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. So with this new identity with Mike Brown, this is where Kolek could fit. The 2025 New York Knicks are built on grit, intelligence, and chemistry. Brunson, Anunoby, Hart, Mikal Bridges, they play the game the right way. And now they're coached with discipline, and they're hopefully going to play more unselfish. Tyler Kolek is tailor-made for that system. He isn't here to demand 20 shots a game. He's here to feed scorers, to run offense, to compete on defense, and to dive on loose balls. He's a connector just like Nash, just like Brunson, just like Hart. He may never be a 25-point per game scorer, but neither was Nash. What he could be is a locker room glue guy, a second unit maestro, and eventually, if the opportunity arises, a starting caliber lead guard. Because there are like 3 shared strengths that Kolek has with Steve Nash. The similarities, tangible basketball similarities. First, pace manipulation. I love watching them play. Both players are masters of tempo. Nash rarely played at one speed. He would snake a pick and roll, hesitate, keep his dribble alive, and wait for the defense to break. Kolek plays with that same craft, never in a rush, always in control. And then they have a variety of passes and creativity with it. Nash could pass with either hand, bang, bang, from any angle, while moving at any speed. Kolek is similar. Behind the back dishes, wraparounds, lobs, one-handed darts. He got them all. His assist rate at Marquette was elite, and he's already shown NBA level creativity and flashes. But mental toughness is there as well. Nash was relentless. He was knocked down, doubted, ignored, and he always responded. Kolek has that same edge. He was unranked out of high school, transferred to George Mason to Marquette, and he clawed his way into being one of the best point guards in college. That fire is going to matter in New York. So this is why you should believe as Knicks fans. Stop trying to package him and send him away. We got time for him to develop. If Knicks fans are looking for a reason to believe in Kolek, you should start with the fact that he's built like a Knick. He's tough, smart, he's gritty, he's unselfish. You should also look at the NBA's trend. Teams increasingly value point of attack playmakers who can break down a defense and run the second unit. Teams are less interested in the prototype, and they're more interested in, can you hoop? And Tyler Kolek could hoop, period. I don't care what the first 2 games say. And in a world where Steve Nash went from a backup in Phoenix to league MVP, that's what's stopping Tyler Kolek from surprising the league also. Nash needed time, he needed trust, and he needed opportunity. Kolek may just need the same thing. So I'm telling you right now, there's power in belief. There's power in the belief of our new system. The Knicks already have a franchise point guard in Jalen Brunson, but that shouldn't diminish what Tyler Kolek could become. Nash played behind Kidd and Johnson before getting his shot. Kolek will have time to grow, he'll have time to study, and he'll have time to perfect this game under Brunson's mentorship. And let's not forget, Nash didn't reach his prime until his late 20s. His success wasn't instant. It was built through work, trust, and self-belief. Tyler Kolek doesn't need to be Nash today. He just needs to become the best version of himself. And if his past is any indication, one filled with slights, transfers, and triumphs, he's on the right path. So Knicks fans, hold the belief. Watch the subtle brilliance. Because every once in a while a player comes along who defies the prototype and makes a new one, just like Steve Nash did. Just like Tyler Kolek might. Stop trying to send our guy off as part of a package. Unless for Giannis. Peace, Kolek. But what say you? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there is no struggle, there's no progress. But also remember this. Whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here in Knicks Deli, baby, everybody eats. I'm your boy Sheer, and I'm out. Peace.